Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Great. This is Real Housewives season 14 episode 4 review. Big Apple Squabbles. Okay, so this episode had a lot to unpack and unload. I feel so bad for Drew, then again I don't at the same time. Sheree is about to get the news of her life that she ain't gonna like, but we'll get to it. So let's start off where the episode began. Sorry, I just went up and down the stairs. So I'm gonna catch my breath real quick. I just picked up my baby, ran up and down the stairs, trying to get this review done before I gotta get back to work. So let's get this done. So I wasn't feeling too well earlier today. I'm a little better though. So we have Marlo, right? They show us to Marlo. Marlo has now purchased land and she's now building houses similar to what Kenya and Sheree did. She's already taking jokes and she didn't even start at the house yet. She's like, you know, I'm not gonna let it take 20 years like some people or have all the issues that they have with finances and whatnot. She's not really understanding that building a house, trying to find the right contractor, all the stuff that she does, she could run into the same similar problems, but she already taking shots. Sheree will keep taking shots until she experiences the same thing that you experienced. That's all how she is. But she was smart enough to have Marlo will keep having issues, keep taking shots until she's in Sheree and Kenya's shoes. She did wisen up and invite Sheree and Kenya over to the empty lot to kind of see where the space is gonna be, see the vision of what she's trying to create. And during the time that they're there, we find out that her bedroom is smaller than her closet. She has a closet that she wants to fashion in like a in-house mall. She has 2 bedrooms with big closets for the boys that she's living with, which she is considering since her sister is gonna be gone for a considerable amount of time and now they're her responsibility. However, the fact that her room is so small, I was like, Marlo, these clothes aren't gonna die with you. At least you could do is enjoy your sleep. But no, she didn't wanna do that. She wanted a closet to be so big that it could fit 2 rooms because her clothes need the space. That's what she said. And I was like, whatever floats your boat, girl, if you had the money. The guy that she hired to do her architecture did seem knowledgeable. She did say that she wanted to fence off the area and close it. She wanted her own gate. Her vision is nice. Let's just see if it can be executed. Then after they're done looking at it, Kenya and her kind of get into this little argument about where Marlo gets her money. And Marlo makes it clear that this is something that irks her because they keep questioning where she gets her money and making it seem like she's out there doing something, you know, scanty, whatever the hell she's doing something that she's not supposed to be doing. And I like that her and Kenya are starting to build a relationship, but they're gonna need to iron out some of the stuff that they've already went through in the past. And one of it is them talking bad about each other. And one of them is them asking about Marlo's finances and where she gets his money. Hi, baby. Hi. He's looking at me while I'm doing this. Okay, so the next thing we get to Todd and Kandi social distancing while they're taking a walk as a couple on the road. They're walking, and every time they put Kandi and Todd on the screen, I cannot tell if they love each other, if they like each other, if they want to be around each other. They're literally social distancing from each other, and we already got told that we didn't even have to wear masks anymore around each other. But they're walking, and Todd is discussing the condo. He has a condo in New York or New Jersey area, and this condo is something that he's hoping to pass down to his kids because it's something that he has under his name. Kandi has been complaining about this condo. She's made up 1,000 excuses. I don't know why you need to keep this condo. I don't want to come into town and have to stay here. I just want to go in a hotel where somebody can take care of me and pamper me. I don't want to come into town and deal with this. She's making excuses because her name is not on the property. That's what it is. Kandi has been smart about her finances. She's being smart about having a prenup or at least having some kind of arrangement in play that protects all her assets. But Todd is not dumb either. Todd may not have as much money as Kandi, but he has enough money to gain respect. And one of the things he acquired in his past life is a condo that is a 2-story condo, looks beautiful, has a great view. He's not gonna give it up because your name is not on it. He's not gonna put your name on it. Kenny's like, well, where's the key? She's gonna complain and complain and complain until she feels like something goes her way. But Todd came back with, my name ain't on this house in the past episode, so why are you complaining and trying to force me to do something that you yourself are not willing to do? And so he basically lets Kandi know everything happens in your time. You don't really hear what I'm saying. You don't really consider me because you're so used to getting things your way from your fans, your parents, everybody that wants money from you. I'm your husband and you want me to still do that. I can't do that. And I'm glad that Todd is standing his ground and trying to check that behavior because she needs to change. Then we have Kandi complaining out because she said that condo is from his ex-girlfriend. We all had a house that our exes stayed in. We don't need to give it up because we date somebody else or we're married to somebody else. That's crazy talk. What you're doing is you're nitpicking, Kandi, and that's what you're doing. So we get to the next scene and it's Ralph and Drew's counseling session with Dr. Ken. And here you go, Anthony, her assistant, popping his face up in the corner because he wants some camera time. That man is causing a lot of issues, a lot of mess. I don't know if Drew's paying him to do this so she can have a storyline, because we've had that scuttlebutt issue about Drew's storyline being a storyline. I don't know if Anthony's one of those issues, because every time I see him, he just wants attention. It's like the thirst is real when it comes to him. The way he popped his head out and popped back in is like he wants to be seen. I'm in this house. Y'all need to know I'm here. And we find out that Ralph works as in tech for a Fortune 500 company. They make good money. Drew makes decent money, you know, when she is acting, when she does have gigs. But now they're going through a lot of marital issues. And so Dr. Candace come over to their house to discuss with them their normal sessions. Of course, the maniac conversation comes up, but Ralph brings it up in the form of, she called me a maniac. He completely removes or eliminates the part where he brought up Dr. Ken first and what Dr. Ken referred to Drew as, almost like double talking. I want you to see me as the victim. Don't forget the stuff I said to her. Then he said something that I thought was so disrespectful. Yes, he planned a great dinner. Yes, Drew kind of messed it up by bringing up stuff, but these are things that he's not clarified to her. He keeps playing mind games with her. She won't bring it up until you clear it up, and you have not. It doesn't matter how nice this dinner is. I'm not going to be able to enjoy it if you don't clear up what I think you're doing when I'm not around, aka cheating. But he's saying that he did all this stuff, got this dinner together to treat her like a queen, and he should have brought her, instead of bringing her lobster, he should have brought her Lunchables. Who says that to their wife? You should always bring me lobster, not Lunchables. I deserve it because I married you. I'm the gem in your life because I will always have your back. And you want to sit up here and say I deserve a Lunchable? You know what? You deserve to starve. That's what you need. Then we have, after he's done saying that, Dr. Ken acknowledges that maybe that wasn't the right time for Drew to bring up their issues when he's trying to do something romantic for her. But in my mind, I'm like, Dr. Ken, he was doing something romantic for her because he just wanted to sleep with her, not necessarily deal with the issues. Tomorrow, he's going to go back to behaving the same way he was behaving. Because that night, after he gaslighted her several times, he had the nerve to pack his stuff and go sleep in their son Micaiah's room as if he was the one that was faulted. Ralph has a very calculative way of his manipulative behavior. He does it very well, and poor Drew does not have the intellectual capacity to deal with that. She's not as smart. She needs to get smarter. Read more, Drew. Then we have the next scene with candy-coated invitation where she got people coming up in people's houses half naked. She had her cousin Patrick and his girlfriend slash fiance that we saw in the Kandi and the Old Lady Gang show, had them come almost full naked to people who are married in their home, show up on their doorstep to give them invitation and to give them a gift with a vibrating underwear. First of all, I understand that Kandi is known for her freakish ways, and I'm always proud to know that there's somebody out there at her age level that's still that much of a freak. However, I would not appreciate you having your nephew and his almost completely naked girlfriend showing up at my 50-year-old husband's house, especially with Ralph and his philanderous ways, to give me some vibrating panties, and a letter saying thank you for coming to the show in New York. That was a bit extreme, but Kandi is Kandi. Now, I know that Drew had a problem with it, and I know that Kenya had a problem because they both called somebody. Drew called, Drew called Marlo. Kenya called Sheree to let them know that Kandi has some half-naked person come to their house and give them a gift. And Marlo goes, they should name her Freak Kandi Burrs because that's all she is. She's a super freak. She prides herself in the dungeon freakiness, and she just does everything all freaks. Kandi knows because that's how she makes her money, from the dungeon business that she has. And they're just, I feel like Marlo is gonna start tapping on Kandi with the sex stuff, especially because Kandi called her an escort when she first came on this series, this franchise. So we have part 6, right, where my note says part 6, where they're traveling on the bus with the rain outside to now go to the airport for Kandi's play in New York. And they're on the bus, and Kandi brings up the vibrating panties, and also brings up the infamous apartment condo that she and Todd are gonna show them when they get there. She's expecting them to be on her side, and they were like, nah. It's a great investment. You know, I don't think that that's something that we should complain about. You need to just chill out. They make it to the airport for the play. They get to the hotel. There's beautiful food all set out for them. The hotel's nice. Sonia is saying that she can now leave her baby Deuce at home and she doesn't have to deal with all this. So why on earth is she wanting to have another baby when they can finally leave the house and leave baby, their own kid at home? They don't have to start over. They're gonna have to start over doing this stuff again. I won't be able to go out with friends, especially now that they do have friends. So they all get together, and Todd says, yo, we have a suite upstairs. It's gonna be a competition of who gets that suite. And to do the competition, you guys need to let us know what place you guys had the freakiest sexcapade in. And y'all know that Kenya was not gonna lose that fight. So she waited until everybody gave their stories. I think Sonia and was truthful about her. She said, we're in the Maha Club on the way to Dubai. We got it in the airplane, which I need to do with my husband at least one time. Probably when we head off to Dubai for a honeymoon, which we missed because of this whole COVID situation. We need to end up in the Mile High Club. I'm gonna see if we can do it without being caught. But I'm just saying, she said that that's what they did, and I believe her. But then the rest of the other stories were just plain dumb. So we get to Marlo. Marlo said that she did it at a zoo with a giraffe right there, and giraffe licked her face. I said, child, bye. Ain't nobody having sex at a zoo with all these wild animals that weren't trained by us. Then we have Sheree saying that she did hers in broad daylight. I can believe that one. Then we get to Drew. Drew says, Ralph says, we did it with a bunch of whales in the water. Do you know how big whales are? And you said that you were over there doing it with the whale in the water. I don't know if you were out at the beach and you were just watching the whales farther out in the ocean, because whales are huge. Ain't no way you're doing it with some whales right next to you, surrounding you. That whole story was just like, that defies all the laws of physics, okay? Or science. It's just, you are sitting there with two bodies this small, doing it with a bunch of whales who were 5-6 times, multiple times tons of your weight, and you're just cool. No, nobody does that. Then Kenya gets to her portion. Kenya says, I was dating a guy and he was into hunting. And there was an area that we went to where we're gonna be hunting coyotes. And he was into hunting coyotes because the coyotes in that area were really causing problems. So let's go hunt some coyotes, even though we don't eat coyotes, was the point of hunting them. But we're gonna go hunt them. And on the way to hunting them, there was a blood trail leading somewhere. We thought, let's just follow this coyote blood trail to wherever it leads us, even if our life is at risk. But instead, we followed it to a cavern. And we got to the cavern, and while the blood is outside, we decided that this was a turn on. So we decided to just get it in right there, knowing that we were surrounded by coyotes and blood. Kenya won. Her imagination was good, but she won the suite, even though it's crazy. She won. Kenya, girl, get your suite, girl. Say whatever you have to say to get it, okay? Win yours. Then we get to Sonya talking to her husband in the next scene, saying that she's now looking at Drew sideways. Drew is hearing people talk about her sis and all the stuff that he's spreading about her husband, and for some reason she's still keeping him on in her house, talking about he's on probation, that she don't have proof. But she believes him when he talks about Sheree, but not when people tell her that he's talking about her. And so Sonya's looking at her sideways like mess attracts mess. If she likes this kind of mess, she's probably the same way, and I can't trust her either. Girl, you're absolutely right. Drew is messy. Then we get to them heading over to Todd's condo to go and finally take a look at it. And Kandi's complaining on the bus already. She's just adding complaints on the bus before they even get there. Then while they're talking about it, I think that was it Sheree or Marlo talked about how they've been scuttlebutt on the street about Todd being, philanderous ways. And they flash back to when Portia was talking to Kandi, talking about that Todd was going over to New York telling people his name was Marvin because he was trying to cheat on her. But I thought that rumor came from Phaedra when she was jealous of Kandi, when all that mess was going on. I thought that Portia admitted that Marvin comment, the lies came from Phaedra. I'm not sure, but y'all correct me if that's what she did. But that rumor came up, and they said they might understand why Kandi might be a little bit more skeptical about Todd having this condo. But Todd is letting people know, hey, I'm 50 years old. I need something to give back to my kids. I got a son, and this condo is nice. All I need to do is renovate it. Kenya goes in there. She got a hammer in her freaking confessional talking about, I can just break this wall down. Got a fireplace here. The view is nice. We can just clean out this, open this door here, area here, blow it out. And after she's done naming all this stuff, she's like, it's $100,000. That's my fee. I'm worth it. I'm like, girl, with $100,000, just buy a whole new condo. Why would you even contact you to do this thing? We might as well just buy another one. It's a down payment on a whole new house, child. But I like your ideas, Kenya. You good. Then we get to them basically agreeing on Todd keeping the condo after taking a look at it. It just needs to be redone. They now move on to dinner and with some tea. They're at dinner, and now Ralph decides that he's going to speak. I know they asked Drew about not wearing her wedding ring. Drew said that initially she stopped wearing it because she got pregnant and everything on her blew up, which is understandable. But after she had the baby, they now started having a lot of marital issues, and she just has not put it on since then. But she should start wearing it out of respect for him, but she wants to put it on when she feels like this is a marriage situation. But instead of discussing just that, she deflects and brings up the therapist, talking about how they're having this 30-day challenge where they're not supposed to fight with each other or attack each other and whatnot. And I'm like, the same way that Kandi was thinking, y'all gonna have to keep doing this challenge over and over. Ain't no way living with Ralph that y'all will never fight, because Ralph has a way of words. He never answers the question. He just dances around the question and just has you all confused, and you be wondering what the question you asked in the first place. So y'all gonna be fighting. You need to keep doing this 30-day challenge until Ralph decides to tell the truth. But as they're discussing this, they bring up the whole assistant situation, or she brings up the whole fact that they had another woman, Ralph's assistant, that he had to fire in their relationship, and her wanting to massage her husband, and Ralph not thinking something is wrong with that and kind of going along with it. And Drew's like, I just kind of had to come to terms with another woman being involved in our relationship. And Ralph is like, you had to be there to understand the circumstances because it wasn't what you think. And I'm like, he's like, well, I just want to get to the point where we can just move on. We can move on when you admit to yourself that what you did was janky. Because at the end of the day, I'm not uncomfortable with you thinking it's okay for a woman to send you text messages she wants to rub you down. I'm supposed to be the one rubbing you down. Why the heck would you think that that's comfortable and it's okay? Ralph is still minimizing it. Kenya, for the first time, spoke up, trying to help Drew, saying, bro, if somebody did what you're doing to her to me, I would be pissed off, because what you're doing to her is what Mark used to do to me. It's making me feel like what I'm thinking and what I'm observing is crazy and it's stupid and it ain't right. Then as she's checking Ralph starts giggling out of embarrassment because he knows what he's doing. He just can only do it to Drew, not somebody who's highly intelligent and can check his behavior. Then they get to talking about the assistant. And Candy's like, why aren't you mad at the assistant for bringing up all this stuff about Ralph being gay? Drew says the dumbest stuff. I don't have proof. Sheree's like, well, I do. He sent me a photo with him and your husband out talking about he might be gay, and I got more proof. How is that proof enough for you, since you want to talk about me and my non-finances? Let me talk about you and everything, since you want to talk about what Anthony's saying. Since I didn't believe him, but you believed him, let's talk about it. Drew is over here looking dumb. Ralph's over here shaking his head because he just finished dealing with this assistant, and now he has to deal with his wife's assistant. Y'all just need to not have nobody assist you. Y'all are assisting yourself into a divorce. That's what it is. So this episode ends, and after Kenya calls Ralph a butthole and checks him, whatever the case is, we look at the next episode, and Sonya is finally going to check Drew for her behavior and why she's acting like nonchalant, like she'll know she's acting crazy. So that was this review. Please let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, notification bell. I was very happy to hear this, to watch this episode. I had a lot of tea. I'll be looking forward to Basketball Wives tonight. All right, have a good rest of your day.